And here we are with Mr. Martignoni
Location
himself.
was,
How you doing, my
sorry
friend?
for the... Oh, thank you very much. I'm very good.
Awesome. So now, off a
Thank you.
fantastic win over Mr. Magic Maia. Now, talk to me about that fight itself. How did you feel going into that fight itself? What was your preparation like? Did you get to do everything you wanted, obviously with restrictions? Did you get everything needed for camp-wise?
Yeah. It was very difficult training there in Italy because there is a lockdown and my gym was closed at the beginning. I had some problem, at the beginning, but my team, American top team Italy, was very perfect on these 20 days. It was a short notice, and everything goes good. And it was okay. So I had some injuries on my leg, on my nose before the fight, and the fight was hard. My nose started to bleeding inside the first round because it was hurt before the fight also. But Maya is a very tough opponent on his skills on the striking. Everyone knows it, and it was enjoy. It was a fight very hard to watch.
I mean, this is the kind of fight as well. It's very fast paced. It's very hard to try and think about what's happening. You're trying to be composed and trying to make these decisions. Now, after the first round, because again, Wesley was very explosive, very powerful. How did you feel going back to your corner? Were you composed? Were you thinking, okay, I need to change things up? What was your thinking in the second round going into it?
Yes, of course. I thought we have to mixing up something the cards, and I start to putting some pressure, and he changed his game plan. He shoot, and I start to work active when I was down on the canvas, and I thought he's gonna be tired, yeah, and then I start to change my ritmo, my pace.
Pace, yeah. So prior to that then, how was your weight cut? Did you lose a lot on the travel? Because again, when it's not a local competition, it's very hard to have the things you need around you. How did you find the weight cut flying over?
Yes, no, everything in the normal. I don't cut. I don't like to cut too much weight, so I feel okay.
Because you've done the IMAFs, so again, used to fighting same kind of weight day after day. It's because you can't lose a lot of weight every single day because you'll just be dead. So is that something you've always done?
Yes, in the IMAF competition, I was in a normal weight. I didn't cut weight every day. I was my natural weight.
I mean, is that a preference anyway? Have you always fought your natural weight prior to IMAF, or did you used to cut a lot like earlier on in your career?
I'm usual to cut always the same weight. It's not too much, man. It's not too much. I don't like to cut a lot of weight.
No, I think this is where it's quite interesting then. I think this is where your cardio managed to outlast Wesley's, because again, it must have been the cut or wherever, because he looked quite tired, like quite fatigued, like the second round, and you still managed to keep your pace and keep your pressure. Do you think it was your cardio?
No, I think this is the approach of the fight. I don't think he cuts too much. I think that he lose some energy with his takedown. I hit him with a body kick after the scramble, after the scramble, I kick him on the body, so he loses a lot of energy.
I mean, this is it as well, because again, when you have
Also mentality.
yeah, this is it. Because again, he has that very explosive start, and if you can weather that storm, you then see how it is afterwards. Because again, you know yourself, you can't sprint all day. You have to be careful and be timing and everything else. So now you've made your mark in the Cage Warriors like stage. Is there anyone in the roster you look for next at bantamweight or flyweight?
I don't care. I don't care. For me, everything is good in this difficult moment for the fighters in the world. So everything coming is good for me.
I mean, this is definitely a good approach to have, to be very grateful for the opportunity, because again, you don't know when the next show is going to be. Shows get cancelled all the time. Have there been many shows over local to you? Have there been many promotions still running whilst COVID's been going on?
I'm sorry, can you repeat, man?
Sure. Saying with everything going on, you have to really be appreciative to the shows still running. Are there many shows still running in Italy now, or are they still shut down?
Here in Italy, the MMA competition are um, are stopped. So there isn't or organization of promotions that they don't want to risk, because it's difficult work with sponsor, and they don't want to risk.
And definitely, it's where it gets so careful, especially the smaller organizations, because the Cage Warriors, the UFCs, the Bellators, they can afford to lose
Yeah.
if they make the mistake and things have to get stopped. But it is very tricky. So, with your training now over Christmas, are you looking to fight again in the March card, the next Cage Warriors? Is that the aim?
Maybe that could be a good opportunity. I don't know right now what I'm gonna do 100%. So with my team and my manager, we are thinking about here the right now on Christmas. I train a lot, so I will be ready for everything.
That's definitely so important. And now, when you have your fights normally without COVID restrictions, are you normally back in the gym straight away? Do you normally have a break afterwards? What's your normal gap between fight and training again?
Yeah, yeah. My I can. You ask my normal training routine.
The space. So, from competition, you finish the fight, say on the Saturday. Do you go back in the gym on the
Uh,
Monday? Do you go back in the
okay,
gym week
okay.
after?
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I will be able to fight soon. So I'm not I've not injuries, so I can fight soon. But my manager said me relax, because I want to fight soon. But I have a team. I have some great person working together. So we are doing everything good.
That's really good to hear, my friend. Really good to hear. Now, with your competitions, because again, you've had many fights and many different shows, how do you keep your emotions controlled? Because again, there's always the nerves, there's, excitement, everything. How do you stay, cool and collected? Like, I asked this question because with the Wesley fight, when you have a scary first round to come back composed for second and three, that really shows, okay, I'm experienced, I'm cool, I'm not going to get scared or concerned, I'm going to, keep cool. How do you build that experience? How do you deal with those emotions?
Yeah, man. So first of all, thank you very much. And I think the work on your mind is important, like also the preparation for your body. And the mind is it what will make the difference. So I always try to be relaxed, and step by step try to solve I try to use problem solving, step by step. And
Okay, so when you say step by step there, do you mean instead of thinking about everything at once, you think, okay, what is my first thing to think about? Or do you think more, okay, one round at a time? Do you think what do you mean by one at a time? Do you mean different things?
um, I think you should be water. Be water, my friend.
Hey,
What
Bruce Lee, love
what
it.
so what happens. So yes, I always think that be water, and that's what my mind thinks.
That is very important. Now,
Or
when you
doesn't think.
go on,
Don't
don't
think
think.
too much. Don't think too much. Yeah.
Let what happens happen. Very important. Now, with your preparation side of things, when you have an opponent like Wesley Maia, do you make game plan for him specifically? Do you train for you and what you need for your game itself? Like, do you go very specific on the opponent, or is it more specific for you?
Okay, so no, the I try to use a strategy, yes, but it was only 20 days, so uh, I I adapt my um, my style of fight. Yes, I try to. I know that he is very dangerous on the striking, and he could be dangerous. So I thought maybe during the fight try to shoot or change, try to make this fight some dirty. I thought this before the fight.
Because this is very interesting with MMA styles as well. Because if you see boxing, kickboxing, they're very clean and very crisp, but as MMA striking is very, like you're saying, a bit dirty, a bit scrappier to try and make clinches, try and make takedowns. So it's very good having that kind of awareness to make those decisions. Now, with that side of things, do your coaches say that in the corners? Like, what were your coaches saying to you between the rounds? Did they say to make this sort of strategy change? Did they try and tell you to stay calm? What did they say in that time between?
Yeah, yeah. He said to mm, put him under pressure, and and it, he he said this. He said this. He said, be relaxed. Try to put some pressure on him. And I thought, I'm not tired, man. I thought, and I feel good, so I can push, and that was I push hard and more than him, and I won the fight.
Amazing stuff. Thank you for your time, my friend. Have you got any sponsors you want to shout out?
Sorry.
Have you got any sponsors you want to
Sponsor.
give a thing to?
Yeah, yeah. I have technique sponsor is Leone, and I don't have right now other sponsor. I was finding and looking for some good sponsor to help me during the preparation with for the physiotherapists and many. MMA is an expensive sport for our.
Definitely, it costs a lot for the body, a lot of damage to repair. What about your social
Yeah.
media? Where can people find you on, say, Instagram?
What I yeah, I'm active on Instagram, and if you guys watching wanna follow me, it's a pleasure, and uh, I, I use only Instagram.
And what is your name on Instagram?
It's Michele Martignoni.
Perfect. And be
No,
sure to check out.
no,
Go.
uh, nine-
Oh, sorry, that cut out quite a bit.
I
What
don't
did you say,
remember
sorry?
really. I really don't remember. I really remember my name, Michele Martignoni 96.
Perfect. That'll all be in the
Let me check.
description. Yeah, no problem, mate. What we'll do, I'll put it in the description. Guys, check out
Yeah, of course. Michele Martignoni 96.
check that out, guys. Check out the podcast sponsors, the English Hypnotist, Rieco Clothing, and the People's IT, and Fisticuffs _podcast on all social media platforms. Grazie, grazie, grazie.